Hey guys, Rocket Germani here. Today we're going to be continuing my series of Don't Try This at Home. This is episode 2. Today we'll be talking about whether you should fly your DJI Spark through things. Let's get into the video. So the DJI Spark, it's a tiny drone. You can fly it basically anywhere. You take it anywhere with you. It has obstacle avoidance sensors. These things allow you to see obstacles and respond to them accordingly. This drone is very easy to get through cramped spaces. Now, should you do it? That's why I made this video. In a few of my recent videos, you may have seen shots of me flying backwards through trees, going forwards through a tunnel, and going backwards out through a thing on the water. I don't know what it's called. These shots were all conducted very carefully. What you have to do in order to get these kind of shots is you have to probably film in tripod mode. Tripod mode is number one thing to use when you're doing shots like this. Tripod mode keeps your drone steady and helps you in every move you make with the controller is very minor. So the drone you barely see it rolling and tilting and moving at all. So for one of the first times I ever tried doing something as risky as flying backwards through something, I was standing right in front of the drone and made sure it didn't clip the wooden posts of the sitting area on the lake. What I did was put in tripod mode, take off, fly backwards through the thing, and then I was standing right behind it the whole time and in front of it, and pulls out like that. Now you could stand behind it, but since it was a lake, I couldn't go on the water and watch it come out behind me. I can't do that, unfortunately. So what I had to do was, I was in the shot, so I don't think I used it, but I also did the shot going forward. So if you're gonna make your drone go forward through something, number two, you should just stand behind that. So when your drone is going through something, stand behind it. Like the shot I did over in a local park where they have these tunnels for kids to go through, I decided that it would be a cool idea to fly my drone through it. It took 3 attempts to actually get it right, because the first time my drone wasn't even pointed straight. It was kind of like this. It was like the Spark has weird problems going in a straight line, and the video was slightly off, and I didn't like that. So the second time I went through and I came out, and it went like 2 feet after I went out. I was going to go up and over the canopy of the trees, but I just stopped because for some reason there's like a branch that was like barely, it wasn't even near my drone. It might have gotten sucked in if I had gone any further, but I don't think it would have. So I had to turn off obstacle avoidance, and it wasn't because of anything in the tunnel. It was because of that branch. So when I did it this third time, I followed the drone through, and it went up after and up over the canopy just fine. But make sure, if you're going to go through a tight space, stand behind your drone. And then in that same location, I brought it back down. I was weaving my way through the trees, and I saw these 2 trees on my screen. I'm like, you know what, that'd be cool to fly through. It almost went into disaster. I wasn't anywhere near. I was standing over where I could hear the drone, of course. It's loud. It's one of the loudest things we've ever heard. But I couldn't see it. So I was focusing on my monitor, so it looked like it would be a straight shot going right in between the trees. Turns out on one of the trees there's like this cluster of branches, and I went right into the branches. And you could see in the video, the branch was like right in front of the camera. It was inches away, so like that. It was pretty scary. I saw the monitor, I'm like, oh shoot, and the obstacle avoidance kicked in. I remembered to turn the obstacle avoidance back on after flying through the tunnel. So then the obstacle avoidance kicked in and stopped it right, and it was in this cluster of branches, just sitting there. It was extremely lucky that it didn't get hit. Extremely lucky. Miracle that it wasn't stuck in the tree and I couldn't get it. So this thing, it is tiny, so that's probably the reason why. I had a branch like right here, all around it, and I easily just backed up, and I didn't want to attempt flying through it. And the only reason, I was surprised that I had such good signal. I had tons of trees blocking my way, and I was below the canopy of the trees. I was using my OTG cable, which is probably why I had such good signal. You should check out my video on the OTG cable. I'll link it up there. And if you click on that, you can see how to use an OTG cable with your Spark. Alright, back to what I was talking about. So, flying your drone through things. Looks cool, it's awesome. On the Spark, you should probably be watching it as it does it. If you have a Mavic Air, you have the collision avoidance with the computer that helps you fly through stuff. My friend has the Mavic Air. He tried to fly it through something. Sometimes it won't always do it, sometimes it will. Just depends on how tricky it is for the computer to navigate through such an environment. It also is on the Mavic 2, Zoom and Pro, and those are the only drones that have the automatic fly through if you keep pushing the stick forward. The Spark, it'll stop, it won't go anymore. It'll just say, nope, you can't go here, we can't figure out a path around it because it can't, because it doesn't have that capability. So those are my tips for flying through things. So should you do it at home? It's probably not as hard as flying through the rain, which in fact was the previous episode, which is going to be up there once again. Go check that out if you were interested. So, you can do this. You can do this at home really easily. It's fine. It shouldn't, as long as you don't crash, it's good. And it's not dangerous. I mean, unless you're flying through like some kind of like the arch, whatever, a giant arch, and there's people below you. Of course, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Flying over people is against FAA regulations, but generally it's safe. Remember to stand behind your drone, make sure it's going the right way, and use tripod mode. Those are my tips. Thank you for watching. Please do drop a like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram, I'll leave a link below, and join my Discord server. We'd love to have you online. I'll see you next time, guys. I'm Rocket Jumani.